Hello everyone. Welcome to my YouTube magazine, The Spiritual Citizen. My today's guest is Miss Poonam Bhagat. She's a celebrated designer, a poet, and an artist. Her work invites respect in the fashion world. Her clothes are a work of art. Her label Taika is best known for its innovative design and use of natural fabric. Poonam has worked closely in many prestigious projects nationally and internationally. She designed costumes for French opera La La Roque, which was performed in state of art auditoriums in New York and Washington, D.C. For her costume design, she received rave reviews in New York Times and Washington Post. She is a generous soul who believes in giving back to the society. She's a self-made entrepreneur and has survived the test of time in her personal and professional life. She's a happy soul and lives life on her terms. Here I go. Hi Poonam, good afternoon and welcome to my YouTube magazine, The Spiritual Citizen. And Poonam, as you know, our life run in chapters. So today I'm going to flick through some pages of the chapter which you have written for your life. So let's begin with the beginning. Please tell us something about your childhood, your education. And normally we have a favorite teacher in a school or college who have inspired us. Do you have one too?
We all did. And we also had little crushes on all of them as we were growing up. I went to a convent of Jesus and Mary. And yeah, initially I was not a very social person. I was extremely reticent in my formative years. So I found it very difficult to make friends in school. And then somehow I managed to get myself out of this reticence and thin, and you have this self image which is not very endearing. Although my mother used to always think I was the most beautiful thing on earth. And slowly, I think I started working on myself and I opened up and I started opening up to new friends. In school, I think only when I was about 14 years old. There were many teachers who inspired us. So there was one particular teacher who inspired me for her elegance. She taught us English, extremely beautiful, extremely elegant. Her name was May Lal. And Mrs. Ravindran. So May Lal taught us English. Ravindran taught us geography, and she was. Then we had a teacher called Ramdas who was extremely spunky. I decided to totally come out of my shell and try to be like her, to try and acquire that spunk, which of course takes a lot of practice and a lot of time. But my ultimate crush, I think, was on Miss Bhargav, who was as sexy as they come. And the best part is she taught us physiology and anatomy, which was my favorite subject. So that was it. These are four teachers who inspired me. And I went on to study psychology. I majored in psychology. I went to LSR. My gang of school friends also graduated with me, and we continued to be in psychology together, which was lovely. As far as my personal growing up years are concerned, my mother was a writer. In fact, she was a very famous writer. I grew up in this literary background where my mother was writing many books and winning many awards. And my father was a romantic. So he was a Shakespeare aficionado. So as I was growing up, I learned all I had to learn about Shakespeare. He was also very fascinated by Hitler and World War II. So I grew up learning about Hitler as well. So it was a dichotomy, you know. So this is my childhood. And I had a twin brother. I have a twin brother. We fought. It was a regular childhood.
But at the end of the day, Poonam, we always remember teachers or parents or seniors who have validated us as young kids. And this
till
memory,
today.
yeah, and this memory never fades, kind of. So, your clothes are made for all body type, they are made for all age group. But in your heart, in your core, are you old school or contemporary?
I'm a mixed bag. I'm a bit of both. As far as old school is concerned, I still believe in the English language, literature. I read a lot of Oscar Wilde and things like that, which children these days just don't do. And I also lay a lot of stress and emphasis on the values that were inculcated in us as we were growing up, something like that. Children these days are not able to relate to any of this. They're not able to relate to literature. Um, Value systems have changed, manners have changed, etiquette has gone for a toss. So, in that sense, I'm still old school, but I'm extremely contemporary in my thinking. I have shattered the glass ceiling. I have exploded many myths as I've evolved in my journey to where I have reached. And I am not the quintessential Indian woman. I'm not.
So that's fantastic. I mean, you're a combination of old school and contemporary, and that is what one should be. You take the
Yeah.
values which are necessary, and you take the values from West which are necessary. And that's what actually Gandhiji said, take the best of both the worlds. And that was his message, a very prominent message. So, another thing, I would like to dwell upon a bit is that, we all have a certain defining moment in our life, and especially we as women, which completely changes the trajectory of our life. It either makes you weak or it makes you strong. And Poonam, you are a very strong woman. Was there specifically any defining moment which changed the trajectory of your life?
And on the 4th of July, 1994, I decided to leave my husband's home, pack my bag, and start afresh. And at that time, Taika, which is my label, was only 3 years old. And we are still very, very good friends. But at that point of time, sometimes it happens that two people can be great as friends. They can be great as lovers. They can be great as companions, but they're not very good at being husband and wife. So after 10 years, I left with a bag and I said, I had nothing. I had no money. Okay. Because Taika was, like I said, in its nascent stages. And I made a promise to myself that I'm not going to depend on anyone. And Taika will then become my bread and butter. And I'm extremely happy that I had those 26 years. Because in those 26 years, I learned how to support myself. I learned how to garner respect from everybody. So I stood on my feet. I lived life on my own terms. I struggled. I worked very hard, but I managed. We all manage. Rachna, that is the beauty of it. The power of thought, the power of positive thinking, the power of having that faith in yourself that you can do it against all odds. You can do it. You pull yourself up. You have to pull yourself up. You have to get up. You have to rise like the phoenix. You have to dust yourself and walk again. What I did actually was just jump off the deep end. I had no clue where I was going. I had no clue how I'm going to make the money I need to support myself. I had absolutely no clue how people will react. I just jumped off the deep end. Unfortunately, because I was able to support myself, I was able to live on my own terms, I was not dependent on anyone, and I did not give out the wrong signal. You know, everybody, there was not a single person who took advantage of my being single and a fashion designer. There was not one person who was hostile towards me. There was so much respect. There was just so much respect that came my way. And as I kept growing, Taika kept growing, I kept growing, I kept evolving, and I absolutely love the person I've become now, you know? And it's all thanks to that moment. in 1994. And I tried. It's not as if I didn't try. We all try to save our marriages.
Yes.
Some people leave, some people don't. They
Yes.
have financial restrictions or they have social uh, stigmas, they have children, whatever it may be.
Okay.
So I just decided to hell with it. I'm going to do it on my own and I'm going to be just fine. And that was it.
What a marvelous story, of a leap of faith. And actually, you fell down in God's hand. I would say that. And
And I have no fear. These
I,
26 years taught me not to have fear. And these 26 years taught me how to be optimistic and always have hope, which is
yes,
very important.
yes, yes, yes. So, Poonam, your brand Takia, as you said, is, around 33, 35 years old. So,
30
what
years old.
30 years old. So, where do you get your inspiration from? Every year you have to launch a new collection. Where does this source of reinventing yourself comes from year after year
That's it's
into
not
30 years? And
it's
every,
not it's not it's not every year. It used to be twice a year. Okay, it used to be spring, summer, autumn, fall,
that's nice.
autumn, winter,
Yeah,
4 times a year. And with online presence, it's become almost 8 times a year because you're reinventing yourself and you're changing your collection online almost every 2 months. So it could be anything. It could be art. It's usually art. I'm very, very inspired by art. I've always followed art and I love painting, as you know. So it's usually art. I've done collections based on Picasso, inspired by
yes.
Picasso, by Miro, Juan Miro, both iconic Spanish artists. I've been inspired by Van Gogh, I've been inspired by a lot. Abstract, expressionistic art, a lot of stuff.
I see a lot of
And
nature
nature.
also. Nature, yeah.
Yes, and
Nature.
nature.
The
I
birds
was
and
just about to
trees,
say that.
sun. Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. And it could just be a leaf. It could be an autumn leaf, the colors of an autumn leaf. It could be flowers. It could be anything. But nature is a huge inspiration as much as style
Yeah,
does. You can be inherently stylish. You can be wearing a sackcloth and still look good. It's your personality. It's your personality, how you carry yourself, and the confidence that matters more than trends. I design for women, and when I meet women, even if I don't meet women, because these days we're not interacting
yeah.
face to face because of the situation. So I'm doing online uh, orders and things like that. So I'm making clothes for women I haven't even met at the moment. And so I always insist on talking to them, having a video call with them, um, judging their personalities, and then deciding what is going to suit them most. You can't just follow a trend blindly. You have to have the personality to wear something that is age appropriate, body appropriate, and personality appropriate.
Right. So, my supplementary question to you would be that how realistic it is to be, fashionable all the time. Like on social media, there are certain examples when you never see a hair out of place, and I don't know, even so, how
Social
realistic?
media Social media is a mirage. They use all kinds of apps. It is not realistic. You cannot be fashionable all the time, and especially not during lockdown when you're at home. But yes, you can be stylish, like I said. So I am wearing a simple red linen dress. That's all. And this the only thing I've done today to glamorize myself is the red lipstick. It's not, you can be fashionable without being always dressed up
Effortless,
and over the top. Effortless.
effortless,
Yes. Yes.
effortless fashion.
Yes. And sustainable.
And
Very sustainable.
yes, yes,
Because it's not as if it's firstly slow fashion. I wear a lot of linen. I make a lot of linen,
yeah,
pure cottons, pure fabrics that breathe. I know you're going to ask me about sustainable, so I'm just preempting you.
Go ahead. Go
Um,
ahead. I mean, the question is already answered. Go ahead. What we want to hear more.
recycling,
Yes.
recycling. It's not what happens with fast fashion is people buy fast fashion,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
and then they wear it for a season and throw it away.
True.
It goes into the garbage dumps, okay? It's not eco-friendly. A lot of it is made from synthetic polyfibers and things like that. So it is not eco-friendly at all. I have always used natural fabric.
Yes.
So whether it's hand spun or handloom, or it's pure cotton, matka silk, tussar, anything, linen, but it has to be fabric that breathes. And for me, I will continue to recycle my 10 linen dresses that I've made for myself. Okay? I'll wear them with different wraps, different capes, different accessories. So they become a whole new garment every
Yes.
time you wear it. So
True. True.
mix and match.
Yeah.
And upcycling is very important. We do a lot of upcycling also in our studio. In fact, I wrote a very interesting article once on sustainability and fashion for the Officiel, the magazine. And I totally believe in sustainable fashion.
So, do you upcycle the little pieces of fabric left, and make them into like what? Cushions, a cup? I don't know. I mean, you have to tell.
Well, no, we don't do cushions and stuff. We do make potlies, we'll make bags, we'll make, if I have a little more fabric left, I'll do color blocking.
Yeah.
I'll do color blocking and make a very interesting dress out of it or a very interesting tunic out of it. So even if I have half a meter of fabric left in different colors, I'll combine them together and I'll make very interesting edgy contemporary silhouettes and they're good to go. And I also, the katrans that are left over,
Yeah.
uh, the katrans
Yeah. I know. I know.
that are
Yeah.
left. We give them to NGOs. We give them to
Okay.
NGOs,
Okay.
and they use them to make quilts.
Oh,
So
wow.
they work with underprivileged women, and they make quilts. They use a stuffing for quilts, or even cushions if they want.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever. Whatever. Puram, you're also an artist. You paint very well. You're a poetess. I mean, how many hats are you wearing? And please let me know, how does art unites the continent? I mean, there are very few things in today's day when when we see the world stand united, and this is one place where I feel that we are all united.
Because it speaks its own language. It art transcends all barriers. It speaks its own language. It speaks to your heart. It speaks to your emotion. So it doesn't matter whether you're in India or in America or in Europe or in Australia or in Africa. Art appeals. It doesn't matter where that art is coming from. It could be the Koni tribe in Panama, the Mola. And if you look at coming to tribes, if you look at all the tribal works, what the Aborigines made in Australia, uh, their art in Australia, if you look at the African art, the Shuva art, and a lot of other tribal Aboriginal African art, and you look at the Panamanian art from the Mola tribes, and you look at ours.
Yes.
Okay, you look at the Gond tribal art, you look at any of our tribal art, it's almost all the same. Whether it's Mexican, whether it's African, whether it's Aboriginal, Australian, whether it's Maori, tribal art is all the same, literally the same, with a few nuances, of course. So they transcended then, and we're talking about prehistoric times, yeah?
Yes.
Now, you just look at a painting, it doesn't matter who's made it. So it just has to speak to you. If it speaks to you, it just transcends barriers.
Yeah, I think art has a certain soul to it, whether it is dancing or music or art. And I think it's at the level of the soul, we are all joined and united, and probably that's
Yes,
it.
I was particularly talking about painting, about
Yeah,
art
I
in
understand. Yeah.
itself. But I totally agree with you. Music, you listen to an opera, a piece of opera, you listen to Puccini, you listen to Pavarotti singing Puccini, or you listen to Kishori Amonkar, or you listen to somebody else, or you listen to jazz. It doesn't matter as long as it speaks to you.
As long as it speaks to you.
And even if you don't understand the language, opera is Italian mostly, you know, you don't understand the language.
Yes,
It's
yes,
French, it's Italian, it's German. You don't understand it, but it strikes a chord within you.
definitely, definitely it does. So that's a question which has been very well answered by you. And Poonam, you are a voice of underprivileged children in a particular NGO. You have also donated your organs, if I'm not wrong. And which social cause
I've
is,
donated my organs, but I'm only after I'm dead.
of course,
I haven't donated any organ while I've been alive.
though there would be many people who would love to take your heart. So, why do you think it is so important for every individual to give back to the society, even if it's little bit? Why do you think it's important?
It's very important. You have to give back to society. And it doesn't matter how much you give back. Because, like who said? Gandhiji also said the same thing, I think. Every drop makes the ocean. Or was it Tagore? I don't know who said it. But every little drop makes the ocean.
True,
So it doesn't matter what your contribution is, how much your contribution is, whether it's qualitative or quantitative. If you're not able to give your money, you give your time. Yeah. If you're not able to give your time, you give your money. If you can't give either, try and be an inspiration to people.
true, true.
I will never forget a moment in life when I met this girl. I'd never ever met her. So this girl came up to me and she said to me, she said, I need to thank you for saving my life. And I said, what do you mean you need to thank me? I'm not even aware. She said, I was on the brink of killing myself and you saved me. And I don't know what it is that I said that saved her. Maybe it was something she read. Maybe I just happened to say something to somebody I didn't even know. But that saved her life. As far as I'm concerned, I'm particularly passionate about animals and street children, like you said, especially the girl child, because the girl child has been neglected
Yes,
in our societies, the lower classes, especially. So we've organized the Earth Foundation. I've been part of the Earth Foundation, where we've had fundraisers, where I've had ambassadors and their spouses walk the ramp in designer clothing. That designer clothing has been auctioned. I've got all my designer friends together for this cause. They've all been held at various embassies. We've done about 8 or 9 so far, at the German, at the Turkish, at the Italian, the French, the Slovenian. So that fundraiser, all the money goes to helping the girl child.
yes,
Even in Dehradun, where I am currently, there are trusts that support street children. There's Asra Trust, which you can Google or go onto Facebook. They're doing a stellar job. They're looking after 4,000 street children. And like I said, I believe in positive thinking, which is again affirmations. I offer gratitude. Every morning I offer gratitude. Every night I offer gratitude. I offer gratitude whenever. But I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for where I am. I'm grateful to be given this opportunity to talk to you, and hopefully, we'll be able to inspire somebody through this. I am grateful for the food. I'm grateful for everything. Okay. And I believe in the power of now. I don't believe uh, living in the past, and I do not believe in the future. I believe in the power of now, and I believe that we can mold our future. Okay, just like I did. We have that capability. And as a routine, I walk up and down the hill. So I walk every day. I take the dogs and I take my maid's son, and we walk for about an hour up and down the hills. And then,
so, as you mentioned, the power of now in your life, it rings a bell in mine too. Eckhart Tolle says that gratitude, thank you, is the biggest prayer. So you have been a praying woman in a way.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rachna. And I think it's the most important. The most important thing is not to take yourself too seriously
Yeah, yeah.
and to be able to laugh. Not only to be able to laugh, but to have the ability to laugh at yourself as well. You know? So just don't take yourself too serious. Everything pans out, everything works out. Just work towards it
Question.
with a smile.
Please give a word of advice to young designers, who have not yet started anything and who are locked down at home, who are going through depression, who don't know when the next morning is going to come and when they can actually go out there and show their talent. What would be your one word of inspiration to them?
Keep the faith, have the faith. Uh, this lockdown is not going to last forever. To make clothes which are casual, chic, different, your own individualistic style, and promote them on Instagram and social media. And you will get clients who will call you and, buy from you without you having to spend too much money. And just wait. I think in a year we'll be over this hump.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank you, Poonam, from the bottom of my heart. The message which I get from you is that you are extremely inspirational, you are strong, you are smart, you are beautiful, you are intelligent. Gratitude
Thank
is
you.
gratitude is your food for soul. You love yoga, you love your dogs, you take care of so many underprivileged girls and animals, and you are a very kind lady. Thank you for giving me your time. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you so much.